Hello friends, welcome back to Mulesoft Academy. In today's session, we are going to talk about how to deploy Mule application to CloudHub 2.0 using Mule Maven. Okay, so we call it MMP. So if you want to deploy application from Runtime Manager UI, simple, you can go ahead here and deploy. You can select your target application jar from here. You can upload it and you can deploy it. You can select the target either shared space or a private space. Okay, and then you can provide these configuration and you can deploy. Why? But our intention today is to use Mule Maven approach, which will be used in your CI/CD whenever you want to do automation. Okay, so let's talk about the prerequisite. So first prerequisite is now our Anypoint platform accounts are enabled with MFA, which is our multi-factor authentication. So the approach the Maven used to interact with our Anypoint platform is via connected apps. So let's go ahead and first create a connected app. So let's go ahead and go to connected app section. So to save time, I have already created one connected app, which is very simple. We need to give, we need to add a scope related to runtime manager. Okay, so for demo point, I've added all the scopes. Depend on your requirement, you can add, or filter scopes. So runtime manager, all the scopes I have given to this connected app. And if you remember, for deploying the applications using Maven and using connected app, the minimum requirement is design center access has to be there. Okay, so design center access, and then for specific to the CloudHub 2.0, we need Exchange access also. So the scopes related to the Exchange, the scope related to the design center, and the scope related to the runtime manager, because we are going to interact with runtime manager only. Okay, which is our UI for our runtime plane. So these three things I have added and I have created this connected app. So let's be ready with this information. So I'll just copy, or you can go to the connected app. And for the DevOps, I'll copy this client ID. I'll keep it over here. And secret, I'll keep it over here. Okay. Okay. So now the connected app is ready. That means via Maven, I can interact with the with my Anypoint platform. So let's go ahead to our Anypoint Studio. So for saving time, I have created simple empty app right now. We'll go ahead and we'll add the listener over here, and we'll try to create kind of hello world app. Okay, so from the favorite, let's drag transform activity. Okay, and here we'll just add the message. CloudHub 2.0 deployment using Maven. Okay. So let's save this. Let's configure listener. In our listener, we'll just simply add whatever default setting. Okay. And we'll add here okay. Save everything. Okay. So looks like our map is ready for the deployment. Okay. First, we'll configure our POM.xml. So let's open the POM.xml. Okay. So if you notice here, Mule Maven plugin version is 3.5.4. This version won't work with CloudHub 2.0. So we need to update this. Minimum we need 3.7. Okay. So let's not update this. Let's go to our Mule Maven plugin and we'll try to update this. So first we'll add a configuration here. Okay. So we'll go ahead and add a configuration. So we don't need to mug up anything. We'll go to our documentation, Mulesoft documentation. So if you want to deploy the application to CloudHub 2.0 using Maven, okay, so this is the setup we need to do. Okay, so let's go ahead and copy this configuration. So first thing, they have updated the Maven. Okay, so if you look at the Maven version here, this is triggered. So we will copy entire plugin code instead of go to POM.xml and the entire plugin will update it. Control A, Control Shift F, configure. So now you see the Mule Maven plugin we need it is 3.7.1. Okay, let's configure one by one. So our URI, which is fixed. Provider is nothing but a Mule container where our application is going to get deployed. Then our environment. So let me hardcode sandbox. Okay, this target. Okay, so this target is a really important value. Let me take you to the Anypoint platform where we can find this. So for simplicity, I have deployed one application in my runtime manager. So let me take you to that application, and that I have deployed in shared space. Okay. So that name is nothing but this target name. So this one. Okay. So since I have deployed in my shared space, so this name will be auto-generated. If you are deploying in your private space, then this name will be nothing but your private space name. Okay. So for example, I have private space also. So in that case, if I deploy application to the private space, then it will be MMA-space. This will be the target name. Okay. So let's go ahead. I have already copied that name over here. Let's take that name, go to our POM.xml and configure it. Mule version, our CloudHub 2.0. Okay, it works with 4.3.0 and above. Okay, so we'll use the latest one. It won't work with the Mule 3. Okay, so we'll take 4.4.0. I don't want to pass username and password over here. We'll use our setting.xml for this. Okay, app name, let's give app name over here. So let's go ahead and give app name. Let's say this is CloudHub2 -mmp and deployment, and some unique mix we'll add. Okay, here replica I want instead of 1 week code, we'll use 0.5 0.1. Okay, in setting you can see here we have HTTP inbound and outbound. Okay, so we'll for now we'll remove this deployment setting. Okay, we'll keep this one. And one more thing I wanted to copy from the okay, I'll show you. We can add the properties and secure properties. I'll show you what all this means. Okay, so in CloudHub 1.0, if you remember, if you want to mask some properties, we need to mention these properties in mule-artifact.json file. Now we don't need to mention those in that file now. If you want to mask some properties, we can mention it here itself. Okay, so I'll just use something called 80, and instead of key, I'll give a name https dot port. Okay. Okay. So one thing we need to pass the setting.xml ID over here. So let's first create the setting.xml. So let's go to our .m2 folder, and whatever is there, let's rename that first. Okay, so I'll just say today's date, which is 27/10/2022. Okay. Okay. let's go ahead and create new file here. Okay. So if you want to create a very simple file, which is XML, so we'll say settings. So this is our settings. And then we need servers. Go ahead and Control V, servers. One server will one server will configure here, server would be okay. Okay. So here we'll pass configure ID, then we will configure username, we'll configure password. Okay. Now, since we are going to access or interact with Anypoint platform via the connected app. Okay. So let's go ahead and use those client ID and client secret, which we have copied over here, this one. Okay. So let's see how we can use that. Where is my file? So ID and then username. So username will be, there is a syntax. So just let me fix this tags first. Okay. So the syntax is, we'll use something like here, let's say Anypoint connected app. So just ID I gave here, and the username, it will be, we need to use till 3 times. Okay. And C capital client and then end till 3 times. Okay. This is the syntax. And then in the password section, we'll be passing client ID here. And then we'll be using tilde, then question mark, and then tilde, and then our client secret value. This is the syntax for setting.xml. Okay, so let me check username. So username, password, and ID is clear. So let's save this file. We'll try to save it in M2 folder, users into here, and we'll give a name settings.xml. Okay. So this is the minimum requirement we need. So our connected app is ready. Our setting.xml is ready. Now we are going to use this ID over there. Okay, so let me copy this in our POM.xml over here. Okay, so let me check the instead of ID, we call it server. Okay, this is server. Okay, so now this configuration will be used to deploy the application to our CloudHub 2.0, but this is not enough. Okay, so let me show you why this is not enough. So CloudHub 2.0 deploy the application from Exchange. So that means if you recall the runtime fabric pattern. So in runtime fabric, first we need to publish our asset to the Exchange, and from the Exchange, it will get deployed to a runtime plane. Okay. So if you want to see the repositories, Exchange repository, I show you how we can see that. But the minimum requirement is first configure our Mule Maven plugin, and then configure our POM.xml to upload the asset to the Exchange. Okay, so we need deployment So let me show you the code. We don't need to again mug up anything. So I just copy this distribution management. So we need distribution management inside our before build or after build, we can copy paste. Okay. So let's see, in the codes, they have mentioned V3, but somehow it didn't work for me. Let's see. Okay. So let's save this now. So let me cross check. So our plugin is configured properly. CloudHub2, everything. Okay. Yeah, I configured. So I'm just referring my old document. And here I have passed let me format properly. Okay. Save everything. Okay, so setting.xml is ready, our POM.xml is ready, our code is ready. Let's go ahead and go to the directory, root directory of this project. And so open this. So let's try to run with our standard command, which is our nvn clean package, then deploy, and then -d mule deploy. Let's try to hit this command and whether we are able to, deploy this application to the CloudHub2.0 or not. Okay, let's see. It will fail because we have not published our asset to the exchange. Okay, let's see what happens. Okay, so if you look at the no application with the provided GAV, that is group ID, asset ID, and version. There is no asset with this coordinates. Okay, so what we need to do? We need to first fire the command. Okay, so we need to deploy in 2 steps. First step is without -d switch, go ahead and first publish this to the exchange. So it will take some time. Let me take you to the exchange. Okay, so this is my exchange. So to see those assets, there is a URL, type is equal to app and show is equal to all. Okay. So right now there is no application with the name which we are uploading it. So let's see what is the status. Okay, so it's doing its job. So there is an error, exchange publication failed, unable to execute. Okay, so I was talking about, yeah, this one is also expected. So one by one we'll resolve the errors. So I said this V3 is not working. In the documentation they have mentioned V3. Okay, so if I take it to the documentation, they have mentioned V3. Okay, and one more thing, I made a mistake. Let me fix that. This is the mistake. What we'll do, okay, sorry about this one. So this is actually, you can take the, okay. So this is the first mistake. Second one, you need to get the group ID of your business group. So you can go ahead here to your Anypoint platform. Anywhere you can go. You can go to the access management, or you can directly go to your Anypoint platform, click it here. Whatever ID you see here, take this ID, Control C, go to your POM.xml, fix this first. Okay, and you can access this property by saying project.group ID. Okay, so we need that over here. So you can say project dot group ID. Hope this is the correct group ID, I capital. Okay. Save everything. Okay. Now let's go back to the command prompt again. I'll close other commands. And let's go ahead and try with V3. So with the -D, we have seen that it was searching for asset in Exchange, which was not there. So we got the error. Now we are uploading our asset by using V3 URL. We are getting error. It says that Exchange publication failed. Let's go ahead and change that URL to V2. Okay. Let's try with the V2. Control S. Same settings, same POM.xml configuration. We don't need package, just send mvn clean deploy. It will publish your exchange to the publish your asset to the exchange. Hope everything is fine now. All configurations. So it's good to have errors. So we got the errors. We fix those errors on the fly. So unauthorized. Okay. Snapshot. So something wrong with our fail to retrieve the metadata. Just check our setting.xml. Server, client. Okay, let's quickly check the old setting.xml, how it looks. Same thing I have here. Enter P server. C, let's come back here. And import B. Save everything. Come back to the command line. Somewhere some spelling mistakes or some minor issue. Let's go and see. Still 401 authorized error. So let me take a pause and let me see what's going wrong. So let's go back and we can use the older setting.xml, which was working for me. Let's see. Hope I saved the POM.xml. Yes, we have saved it. Configuration, CloudHub. Replicas, everything is fine. Maven version is fine. project.group ID. I got the error. So we are pointing it to the wrong ID here. So we need to have this. This will fix. Our old setting.xml is also good. Okay, so save everything. Let me go back. And now if I run this, the issue was this one. Okay, so here we were pointing it to the repository. And that ID was not there in the setting.xml. That's the reason it was throwing error for unauthorization. Okay, now it should work. So now our deployment also pointing to the correct ID. Our distribution management is also pointing to the correct ID. So hope this will work now. Now it's uploading. See, have a look at it. So with V3, we'll try one more time. Okay, so it's uploading now the artifact to the Exchange. So let's have a look at it. Look at our Exchange. So if you go to the Exchange, I'll take it to the Exchange and you'll be able to see that artifact over here. Okay, so there is a URL. Directly, we won't be able to see that. So type is equal to app, show is equal to all. See here now, the artifact is uploaded here now. Now, if I go back and run the command with -d mule deploy, okay, mule deploy. Now it will deploy the application from Exchange to our CloudHub 2.0 shared space. Okay, because we have mentioned the target. This is a shared space for Southeast 2, Asia specific Southeast 2. That is what our. So I'm trying to, figure out the changes as if you compare this with the CloudHub 1.0 deployment with CloudHub 2.0 deployment. So now Anypoint platform is enabled with MFA. So we need to create a connected app. We need to create a setting.xml with the connected apps credentials. We need to configure POM.xml with two things. One with the Mule Maven plugin configuration. Second one, we need a distribution management. Okay. And in the documentation, it says it works with V3, but we have seen that it was throwing error. So V2 is perfectly fine. Okay. The URL which I'm talking about, this URL. Okay. Now, if you go to our runtime manager here, applications, you'll be able to see the app is getting deployed here. See, in the shared space. And the important thing is the properties. Okay, let me show you the properties. If I go to the properties, there are two properties, see, http.port and https.port. If you notice, the https.port is the secured property and it's not visible at all. And in CloudHub 2.0, they have given the option now, you can make the unprotected values or properties protected. Okay, you can just click this, it will be a protected value. Okay, and if you notice, when I was configuring our POM.xml, there was a deployment configuration, so that I didn't add. So I didn't add any public URL. I didn't add any last time security. I didn't add any SSL forwarding. So automatically those will be last mile security will be false. SSL forwarding will be false. Let's have a look at it. If you look at those configuration over here in deployment target, if I go to my ingress. See, last time my securities. So if I didn't mention any public endpoint, then by default, the CloudHub2.0, whatever template is there, that will be used. So if you clearly see, this template is similar to the template which we have in our CloudHub 1.0, but two extra things are added. Okay, so let me. So this is our app name, which was there in our CloudHub 2.0, then dot region dot CloudHub.0, CloudHub.io. This was the template for used for CloudHub 1.0. Now two new things are added here. So the unique ID is added for each deployment, and for each space, whether it's a shared space or private space, the shard ID is added, shard value. So this is unique for associated unique with a space. So this is a template will be used to get the public URL for your Mule app deployed to the CloudHub 2.0. If you deploy this same app to the private space, then we can add multiple public URLs for your app. Okay. And there'll be a private URL endpoint for your application also in case of private space. Okay. So that's all from this session. So we have seen and we have successfully deployed the application from by using our Mule Maven plugin through command line. So let's go ahead and yeah, we have URL. Just try to Control V and then the resource path name was. If I take it, this is what go to. If we trigger this now, so we are able to see the message from our CloudHub 2.0 deployment. Okay, so that's all from this session. Hope you liked it. Hope you feel useful. Please go ahead and subscribe the channel, hit the like button, write your comment, and hit the bell icon so that you'll get notification to the to your notification for new videos. Thank you.